Hello everyone, this is Giovanni. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Movie Canon. And today I'm doing a non-spoiler review of John Wick 4. Like always, guys, please let me know if you can, if there's an issue with the sound or the picture. The mic is connected, the face cam is connected. So if you guys could just let me know if you hear my voice or the sound sounding a little echoey, please let me know so I can disconnect the cable and reconnect it. Or if the picture looks glitchy again, it doesn't look like it is from what I can tell right now, but just let me know if that's the case. I would just ask if you guys can do that from the people who are live or in the chat room right now. Hello, everyone who's on there. And again, this is Giovanni. I am doing a non-spoiler review of John Wick Chapter 4, so no spoilers. This movie just came out last night, so I know a lot of people have not seen the movie yet. So I'm not going to provide you any spoilers here. So you're perfectly safe here when I talk about the review of John Wick Chapter 4. All right. So of course, before we always do these live streams, I always have some kind of a giveaway that I usually have open. So in this case, the Hogwarts Legacy PS5 Deluxe Edition physical copy. It is still open. It will be closing very, very soon. I will be announcing the winner of this Hogwarts Legacy giveaway on March 31st. I'm doing a live stream on that day, at least that's the plan. So keep an eye out for more details about that. I will announce the winner that day. And also that same day, I'm doing a movie trivia game with my brother Matthew. So he is going to try to unlock yet another giveaway the same way that the Hogwarts Legacy was unlocked. Matthew will try to unlock this one, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a video game that's coming out at the end of April. So if he wins the movie trivia game under the Jedi Survivor questions, then I will open a giveaway for this game. And if he doesn't win, for the game itself, then I'll have other giveaways that he can try to unlock. This is going to be in honor of Star Wars Day or May the 4th, because I do want to do at least present some kind of a giveaway winner on May 4th. So this is kind of like the opening of that. So again, this is a Star Wars Jedi Survivor video game giveaway that Matthew will try to unlock. I'm going to do that on March 31st, the same day that I will be announcing the winner for the Hogwarts Legacy video game. So thank you everyone for watching here today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Movie Canon, if you haven't done so already. There's a lot of content, live streams, movie discussions, movie reviews, a bunch of shorts about hot toys, Funkos, and so forth. And just go ahead and click the button to subscribe, or click the like button as well. And that way you are notified about any future content. And then if you're trying to win some of these giveaways, you must be a subscriber to the YouTube channel. So definitely do that. But again here, so we're doing this John Wick Chapter 4 a non-spoiler review. And that's what we'll be doing here today. So let's begin with this. So this is something that just came out of nowhere here. The actor Lance Reddick, he just passed away on March 17th. So just about a week. Yeah, I think it's a week before the release of John Wick 4. So this actor has been in all the John Wick movies. He's brought some class. His character is very likable. Considering the actors, or the characters that are in the John Wick franchise, this character is basically the only one, or one of the very few, that has not screwed over John Wick in the franchise. At least from what I recall in the series, in the franchise movies, this is not something that this character has ever done. Talking about the actor passing away so shortly before the release of John Wick Chapter 4, which he's in, it's kind of a sad news there. So there's a rest in peace for Lance Reddick. He was also in Oz, the show on HBO. I think it's the very first ever HBO drama series that was ever televised, or that was ever released. So he was in that series. So that Lance Reddick, and they do dedicate John Wick Chapter 4 to him. at the beginning of the movie, you see Lance Reddick there. So rest in peace, Lance Reddick. So again, now let's go to the non-spoiler review of John Wick Chapter 4. And as mentioned, no spoilers here, so you don't have to worry about me spoiling anything. So like I always do when it comes to these reviews, I do like to start by doing separating them, dividing them by, the positives, the negatives, the pros and cons of the movie and so forth. So let's begin with one of the positives here. So let's see here. So the positives, one of the pros for John Wick Chapter 4 is obviously the action. The action is nonstop, bigger and bloodier sequences than the other entries of John Wick. This is something that I think you would expect. I mean, John Wick was pretty violent in its first entry, and they just keep getting more and more, as we progress into the franchise. John Wick Chapter 2, there's a lot more action, it's bloodier, and so forth. And Chapter 3, same thing. Chapter 4, even more so. So that's something that you could expect. Now the movie is 2 hours and 49 minutes, so it is a pretty long movie, just so you're aware of that. Another pro that I find here is that Keanu Reeves is still a badass. So I am a big fan of Keanu in this franchise, and considering that The Matrix is my overall favorite movie of all time, I enjoyed seeing Keanu and Lawrence Fishburne in another action film together. So I get a little bit of nostalgia when I see Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne in the same picture there. Oh, this actually is not even has the little image there. Okay, so it gives me a lot of nostalgia for The Matrix. I know a lot of you guys are not huge fans of The Matrix, but I am, and I like seeing Keanu Reeves in a big action movie where he's a badass. So there's that. We have a couple comments here. Nayana's on here, says it all sounds good. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Matthew says hello. Matthew says he's Zeus in the new Percy Jackson show. And then Robbie or EM19 says hi. So hello everyone, thank you so much for again letting me know here that the sound is good, because we've been having some issues lately with the stream. I thought it was the camera, but it looks like it was just the setup. It needed a little bit more power, so I got a little, well, not so little, but a big USB dock that it's helping with the USB bandwidth. So it looks like it's helping. Looks like it's good so far. So thank you guys for letting me know that. And again, going back into the positives. So again, I'm just talking a lot about The Matrix because, like I said, favorite movie of all time and so on. And I'm just referring to the first movie because Matrix 2 and 3 aren't that great, but there you go. Now, another positive in John Wick Chapter 4 is that I've always liked the mythology in the franchise. The organization of the High Table, its rules, and its history. It always elevated the franchise to me, because it's more than just an action flick or an action movie. And I like that mythology, that lore, something that a lot of action movies don't really have that. A lot of action movies just have a bunch of shootings and killings and car sequences, car chases. And this movie, or the franchise alone, has a lot of that. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but it stands out because of that mythology. And I know they're working on a series. I believe it's going to be on Stars. They're working on a Continental TV series. I'm not totally sure when that's going to come out, but I know they're definitely working on that. So that's great there. Let's see. So I have the other pros here, or the positives, was the picture here that I forgot to put the little camera image, but it's Donnie Yen. So he was a great addition to this franchise. Yen's action sequences are always well choreographed and fun to watch. And then whether it's him in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, or in John Wick, Chapter 4, he always delivers the punching and the kicking goods. There's also some similarities between his character in John Wick 4 and his character in Rogue One that I actually found kind of interesting. So I mean, I won't go into details about that right now, but I definitely found those similarities very interesting. Okay, so let's see here. So if we go back to actually, let's go into the negatives now. Let's see here. So some of the negatives. There's some significant ones. Some of them you could consider it to be a negative, but it's also kind of a positive, a pro. And I'll try to explain this as best I can here. So while the nonstop action is a positive, it's a pro more than a con or a negative in John Wick 4. The action sequences in this movie, or just overall in the franchise, do get a little bit repetitive at times, and I did notice that in other John Wick movies. And as mentioned, this was also the case in the previous installments of the franchise. So this is nothing really new in John Wick Chapter 4. It can get exhausting at times, and I do get to the point when I'm watching those really long sequences. I do get to the point where, okay, I'm ready for some dialogue. I'm ready for some conversation. I'm ready for some more mythology, more lore. I'm ready for that because sometimes the action sequences do get a little long and a little bit repetitive. Like I said, there's a lot of action in this movie. Very great action sequences, great fighting, gun battles, and all that stuff. Knife battles, sword battles, all that. It's all great. It's still a pro. It's still positive, but it could be a little too much sometimes. So that's why I'll say that it's a little bit of a negative in there, along with it being a positive. So we have Matthew in the chat room says, I didn't like Rogue One that much, but he was definitely a highlight. Yeah, so yeah, Matthew's not a big fan of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I did like Rogue One quite a bit, and yes, he was definitely a highlight. He was also a badass in Rogue One. He's a badass here, as expected. Let's see. Some of the negative things here are. I also have not figured out how some people, including John Wick, do not seem to get wounded when someone gets shot. This happens in many of the action sequences. They're just like shooting, and sometimes it's very close range. It's just like shooting, 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 jumping, kicking, punching, shooting, 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 and no one seems to get wounded, at least not right away. And sometimes it would confuse me a little bit because, like, well, this guy just got shot, and I think he would have like died or at least like dropped to the floor or something. So I don't know if I'm missing something. Do they have some kind of shield on the wrist? Because they use this a lot. Like they go like this, or like John Wick grabs his jacket, his coat, and goes like this, and then he's shooting. And does he have some kind of like shield on his wrists, or at least the minions, the other assassins trying to kill John Wick? Do they have some kind of shields? Maybe they have bulletproof vests. I know John Wick doesn't have a bulletproof vest because we've seen that he doesn't have one. So that was a little bit confusing there because there's a lot of bullets flying around in this movie that you're just like wondering like, okay, how come this person hasn't gotten killed yet? Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comment section if you know something about that. Maybe like I said, maybe I missed it. Just let me know if that's the case. And then another thing that I will consider to be a negative, a con for John Wick 4 is surprisingly is this actor here, Bill Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård was the main villain of the film. You see that in the trailer. You know that he's the villain. We know he can be great as a villain. He was Pennywise in It. After all, and he was amazing there. I loved his performance as Pennywise. One of my favorite horror characters is Pennywise because of him, because of Bill Skarsgård. Now, Tim Curry's great as well, but I just didn't like the TV movie that much. But I know Bill Skarsgård can do great as a villain, an overall good character. He was great in Barbarian. So I was a little, I don't want to say the word confused again, but I was kind of like, I wasn't buying it in a way. There was something about his accent or the way he played the character that felt kind of odd. to me in this movie. It took a little while for me to get used to his performance, but by the end, I was on board. It was just I was kind of. Um, it took me a little while to get, like I said, adjusted to his performance. If that makes any sense. So yeah, so we have that. Let's see. Matthew says his performance as Pennywise is top tier. Yes, I definitely agree. Let's see here. So that's the negatives, the positives of John Wick, Chapter 4. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I might have missed, but let me see here. Okay, so hold on a minute. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I already talked about the pros and the cons, and overall, I really did like the movie. Um, the film was, like I said, it was very, very long, but it doesn't really feel that long. It's definitely entertaining, a lot of action, a lot of blood, a lot of mythology, drama, and so forth. So it's a great installment, great film. Um, I don't know where it's gonna sit when it comes to the overall ranking of all the four movies. I know I really, really like the first one, and I ultimately did like all of them. It's just that, like I said, sometimes, especially the second, third, and fourth John Wick movies, they are trying to um, do more than the previous when it comes to the action, and some of the sequences get a little too long and repetitive and so on. But overall, great movie. I definitely recommend it for everyone to watch it, especially in the theaters. We have ERM19 says, I thought they mentioned that the suits are made of Kevlar. Oh, okay. So maybe that's an explanation as to why some. I don't know. Does that mean that they're? It's hard to, get wounded. Maybe that's the case. I'm not entirely sure. I might have missed that, but even the other ones, even just like the little minions, like all the assassins, because there's a shitload of assassins running around. Um, I don't think they're all wearing, some kind of suits or some kind of like specific attire that will really be protecting them from bullets and shit like that. But I don't know. That might be an explanation for some of the characters. Let's see here. Okay, so I don't think I have anything else as far as any of the pros and cons that I can think of. I will say this: there is a post-credit scene. It didn't seem like a John Wick movie would have a post-credit scene, but actually they do have a post-credit scene. So definitely stay till the very end because there is one, and it's interesting. It's not mind blowing or anything, but definitely stay till the very end. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the grade of this. So yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 is definitely a see it. I do recommend you watch it at a theater. Like always say this. I'm a big supporter of everyone going to the movies. It's always the best experience. Watch this in Dolby, IMAX, or whatever those bigger platforms or bigger screening theaters like Regal or even the other ones. Just go watch this movie in one of those, or just in general, just go to a movie theater and watch it with a whole group of people. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie that's I think you'll enjoy it. I'm going to give it a B plus because I mentioned there's a few negatives in there that I already talked about here. So that's why it doesn't kind of get like an A plus or anything like that, or an A minus. But another great Keanu Reeves action movie, another great John Wick film, great spring movie, great popcorn film. So definitely watch this in the theaters. So let's see if there's anything else I wanted to mention before we end this stream here. So as mentioned, I'm still doing the Hogwarts Legacy giveaway. March 31st is when I'll announce the winners. So if you haven't subscribed or followed the Instagram page, definitely do that now before we announce the winner. So March 31st, I'll be doing a live stream and I'll be announcing the winner. And Matthew will play another movie trivia game to see if he can unlock Star Wars Jedi Survivor video game giveaway. This game comes out at the end of April, so there'll be plenty of time. If he actually unlocks this giveaway, there'll be plenty of time to gather enough entries and so forth. But we'll give you the details of that if Matthew actually is successful at this. Let's see. So we have Matthew, who has a comment here in the chat. Matthew says, Kevlar is the material used in bulletproof vests. All right, so there you go. But yeah, like I mentioned, I don't know if the other people, the other minions running around in Paris and so forth and Berlin, I don't know if all of them have that, but that might give somewhat of an explanation there. So that's it. I believe that's pretty much it. Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching this live stream, or even if you watched it after the fact. Thank you for doing that, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Movie Canon. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and or Twitter. That's at The Movie Canon. So thank you so very much, everyone, and I will be seeing you guys next time, possibly in that announcements for the Hogwarts Legacy. So that might be the next live stream, but I'll see if I do something before that. But thank you, everyone, and I'll talk to you guys next time.